Hey guys, Jody here and welcome to Younited's second event, YouBuild. There are a ton of things to get through, so listen up. First, for those who don't know, YouNited is a gaming community that helps YouTube content creators by providing them with a platform to network, socialize, develop and grow their audiences. Now, we have been working in collaboration with other YouTubers such as Firemouse and Chillax Games, as well as some of our own members, Biden Games and Life. Each person will be furnishing a different room in the Twin Oracle apartments. I would also like to thank Life for building this glorious apartment and organising this event. Be sure to check out their channels for their apartment furnishing videos over the course of this month. Links will be in the description below. You too can participate in this event, but more on that towards the end of the video. Okay guys, here we are in the Twin Oracle apartments. My apartment is on the second floor and I believe it's apartment B. If not, it's the one beside Biden Games, and if you haven't checked out her video, her link will be in the description. Now, I spent a little while preparing my room actually before building it, because I find I'm a very picky person when it comes to furnishing. So I spent a good month actually doing this apartment. Eventually I came to the decision that I wanted to do an apartment based around a sim. So I created a sim, and basically her whole trait, fatigue and all that other sort of stuff is a very slim fit person. She's a yoga instructor, so that sort of inspires a lot of what happens in the bedroom when we get there, you'll see, as well as what's on the balcony. But I felt like she was a very calm, cool, collected person. So in the end I ended up sort of portraying those in the colours of the house using whites, blues and greys. I first started off in the kitchen. I really did like the idea of the open plan layout. Even though it took up a lot of space in the apartment, I feel I still had a lot of space to work with, which I guess is kind of the point of open plan. But I used a lot of mirrors because she's definitely someone that loves running around looking at mirrors and just being able to, I don't know, just see herself. But it also makes the whole area look a whole lot bigger. You know what, actually what I will do is I will upload this sim to the gallery for you guys to download, so that way if you do want to keep playing her story out in the apartment, you guys can do so. So head on over to AddictiveG is my origin name. If not, you should be able to find her using the hashtag AddictiveG, hashtag YouBuild. Now we're just finishing up the rest of the kitchen. It doesn't take too much more to find all the other little details to put in. Took me a while to find these knives actually, but eventually I got there. I think the hardest room for me in this place was the bedroom and also the dining room, because the last thing I wanted to do was to feel the repetition of colours throughout the house when they didn't suit. Because I was working with open plan, a lot of the time it left the area so open, which I guess obviously open plan, but I also felt the need that I had to fill up the space, and provide the clutter. So over time I do try to figure out what to do with this wall, and in the end I was actually quite happy because I inserted the cool brown colors. I could have went with the darker colors, but I just feel that it wasn't quite right, or quite 100% what I wanted, because the blue was already a darker color in juxtaposed to it, and I just didn't like it as much as I did the brown. So we spend a little time on this wall, but in the end I end up using these shelves, which I originally was going to use above the kitchen, but I felt it was too cluttered up there and they made more sense over by the dining table. I sort of messed around with a few rug ideas, but I felt I needed a plain rug more than a pattern rug, And I sort of came up with the idea with these two crisscross, and part of me wishes I went back to that. In the end, I ended up just using like the simple round rug. It's not horrible, but every time I've looked back at the build, I've kind of wanted to change it back, so that's what I might do. I remember doing this corner over here where the study was, and I think it was left open for a very long time when I was doing this build because I couldn't figure out what it was that I wanted to do. Because I had this space in the bedroom, which you'll find where you will sort of see where I dragged the massage table beforehand, because it just seemed like an actual open area. But then I remember she was sort of being, I'm going to say, a health fanatic, that she worries about her health and all that other sort of stuff, that maybe the computer in the bedroom is not a good idea. So I moved it out into a whole separate area, and they ended up actually putting the dining room, because I originally was going to put the TV where those mirrors were, but I just wasn't comfortable with how busy the other side of that, like where everything was in terms of the seating. So I ended up changing it around and spent a long time trying to find a lamp that I like. In the video, it doesn't take as long, but I can tell you it took a long time to fill that. This area of the room also took me a while to fill, but you'll notice I sort of jump around, and that is because there are a lot of items that go through with the stuff packs. So when I see them and know that I'm going to be using them, I end up like heading over and picking it up and whatnot. I do have the cupboards from Get Together, but I feel that, I don't know, I feel because they were a bit closed off that they weren't the look that I was really going for. I wanted it to seem like she had like a lot of money, a lot of clothes, and a lot of things to work with. And actually, with this room, this is the one room in the house that I came up with off the spot while recording. I hadn't finished it, but like in previous building as I was trying, because I always build my builds before recording the builds, if that makes sense. And because I used a lot of the brown colors through the through like the carpet in the lounge room, as well as in the dining room and the door, as you see when you come in, I kind of carry that in through the bedroom, and I really, really like that. And eventually, as you saw then, I also use that shelf to carry it into the bathroom. I think the hardest thing for me within this room is what to do with that space, on like this space right here on the left where that goes. And I spent ages trying to put curtains in, photo frames in, and I sometimes I really wish that those giant chandeliers, they weren't so big, because they would have been absolutely perfect to put in there. In the end, I ended up using actually carpet in the bedroom, because I just didn't want the black to flow in there. I wanted it to be a cool room instead of such a dark room. I ended up sort of messing around with different colours because I was finding a hard time to find like a comfortable carpet that I was happy with. In the end, we do keep the blues, which is really good because they do appear to be sort of a feminine colour. But I can't remember what carpet. Did I use the round carpet? I must have. I think so. I was making this area off to the side here, and I spent a while, because she is a spa. She is like a masseuse, and I know that's not a job in The Sims, but I really wish it was. It reminds me a lot of like The Sims 3 in that manner. If we could really take, I don't know, that job perspective in it. So I really sort of hope that that's something they include in the future, though I don't know if they will. So after carrying through that, I head into the bathroom. I end up using the same pattern on the wall in the bedroom for that wall as well. And what am I doing? Oh no, okay, I was implementing more cheats. Which is fair enough. In the end, I actually really like this bathroom. Like, really like this bathroom. I liked how... I think the most thing I liked about it was where the bathtub went. Because I originally was going to put it up the side, but I really felt that even though we had the bits in the bath that sort of stuck out, I felt it felt really flat. So in the end, I end up changing it so the bath sort of sticks out like in some of the, I don't know, like more modern designs, and end up putting them in there. I had a lot of problems. I had this, it's like a stool, but it's not a stool because you couldn't sit on it. And it was in that corner, and no matter how much I looked through the stuff, because I was playing building, I had it. And when I was trying to change it, I couldn't find it. So in the end, I ended up using this small little cupboard, which in the end I was actually relatively happy with, because it carried that brown theme through to the bathroom. So it was kind of something, because I had a lot of white in there originally. So I'm kind of glad that it really did work out. I spent a little more time going through, and I realized... Well, not realized, but I was fiddling around with the tiles, and I ended up including the white tiles as sort of like a blue accent. The reason I did this was I kind of wanted to simulate a way to let them know that they have entered the bathroom, instead of just like a simple, I guess a hallway. This part of the house was probably the most, I'm gonna say... I guess the most annoying, because I didn't know what to put here. After time, I ended up sort of going through and thinking that she was creative and that she would use like painting as another outlet. So I ended up putting like blank easels up so she'd be able to do this. But this out here is my favorite part of the house completely, which you would have seen at the beginning of the video. This is where she comes out to do all her meditation, yoga, all that other sort of stuff, and I really loved the fact that I could bring a lot of the spa outfits out, like the spa stuff out there. Which I was like super happy about. We end up trying to place a few more tedious things around the bathroom and the rest of the house, and I spend a very long time trying to figure out what to do with this wall. But no matter how many paintings you put in a game, I always feel that there are never enough paintings to go with anything. And while I think there were paintings that would have fitted there nicely, I just don't feel that they were like the same or the right theme. So I always go back and do something else and then come back and do this. But in the end, I ended up resting these, like these easels up above there to sort of represent her painting. Feel free to put some other stuff up against the top of that wall. In the end, I left it blank. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this build. If you haven't checked out anyone else's build, feel free to hit them up in the description below. And if you would like to get involved in decorating this apartment, then please stick around. Now, we all know you simmers out there like a good furnishing video, so why not take it to the next level and include you guys in this event? Your challenge, if you choose to accept, is to decorate apartment number 4. It has been left empty for you guys to furnish, so download before time runs out. For those who enter, you will have a chance to feature in a showcase video on the YOUnited Hub. Entries will close on the 1st of May at 12 PM Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you use the hashtag YouBuild so we can find your build so much easier. Good luck.